Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran. Today, Disney returns in a look at the magical side of the fairy tale universe, and in particular one film that I believe magic hasn't been explored well enough. That film is Tangled, and its protagonist Rapunzel has some fantastic powers that I feel haven't reached their true potential. So today I'll be discussing what powers Rapunzel may have had. Now, what we do currently know of Rapunzel's powers revolve predominantly around healing, immortality, and resurrecting the dead, all things we saw in the original film. However, from the follow-up series that was introduced, Tangled Ever After, we also saw a darker side of her abilities, the taking of life. So it stands to reason that she could also have had other abilities, some that she may not have known about or explored. And if that's the case, what could these abilities be? So from here I decided to look a bit more into what her abilities and where her power actually comes from. Now at the start of the film Tangled, we learned from Flynn Rider that it was a golden drop of sunlight that created this flower that gave life and healed. And as such, that's what Rapunzel's powers came from. So from here I decided to explore a little bit more about the power of sunlight and see if I could see where that could connect to Rapunzel's powers. By exploring the gifts that the sun gives to the earth, I was able to deduce that there are 4 possibilities of powers that Rapunzel could have had because of the connection to sunlight. So let's begin. Number 1 is the possibility of just pure sunlight. Now we know that Rapunzel's hair can glow, but we don't actually know the power that her hair can glow. Now from the film Stardust with the character of the star, Yvain, there is a scene predominantly near the end where she tells herself to shine and she takes on the actual living brightness of a star that disintegrates the witch. Now, from seeing that and comparing it to this idea that the sun is actually a star, could Rapunzel have this ability by being able to turn into almost a ball of light, even disintegrating or killing the enemies around her because of this brightness? It'd be interesting to see, as we already know she can light up, so to speak, but do we know the power behind it? So it's possible that she could have this ability. The second thing the sun does is control the climate. So it'd be interesting to see if Rapunzel would be able to do this as well. Similar with the previous idea, it's possible that Rapunzel would be able to control the temperature and the climate with her hair and with her presence. As we know from her teardrops as well, after her hair is cut, she still does have a little bit of this power inside her. So could it be something similar to Elsa's powers where she can use her hands to do such things as climate? Or will that be something else that can bring on this ability? Now in terms of the climate changing ability, it'd be such things as controlling the temperature and the weather that would be her ability. And while it's not the most plausible of these ideas, it would be interesting to see if that is possible. Imagine her using her whip length hair to create a tornado or create a windstorm by controlling the climate. How amazing would that be to see? The third one I think is a little bit more plausible because it is the idea of using her hair and her powers for photosynthesis. Now photosynthesis is the growing and healing in a way of plant and living organisms. Now we already know that Rapunzel can heal and give life to people, but can she do the same for other life? I think it would be possible for her to do this just because of the connection to living organisms. So it'd be really, really cool to see her doing this, because imagine Rapunzel as a green thumb, and it's totally plausible for her to be all for the planet, because not only has she not seen the planet for the majority of her life, but she is fascinated by it. So surely she'd be the kind of person who'd be fighting to protect it. And maybe her hair can help her do that. Now, the fourth and final one is slightly connected to the one that we learn about in Tangled Ever After, the taking of life. Now, the reason why this one is in it is because, as lots of people say, don't sit out in the sun too long because it can age you. And what if that is a literal meaning? What if her hair could do the opposite of what it does now by severely aging someone? Now, that would be a really interesting thing to see. Now, I don't mean it in the terms of what it does to Mother Gothel, because that was based on the immortality side of things, but it could actually be by basically dehydrating the person, because obviously she would be taking the moisture out of them, which is technically what the sun does to people. When we sweat, we are losing the moisture because of the heat around us. So it'd be pretty interesting to see if Rapunzel's hair could do the same. Now, I know a lot of these theories are kind of just educated guesses, but due to the fact that her hair has this ability because of the sun, which is a star, which does help control the climate, which is a huge part of photosynthesis, and you know, if you don't wear sun cream, of course it's going to age you because you're going to get wrinkled and tan and it's going to ruin your skin. So surely all of those things would connect to this idea of her having more powers than what we have seen before. Now, I haven't watched much of Tangled Ever After, but I know that we do get a bit more exploration of her powers that her hair has. And I hope that we do actually see a little bit more of this and learn what else she could do. Because not only would it be fascinating, but it would help continue to build the world in terms of the fairy tale universe. And just in general, I want to see her be more badass with her magical gifts, and not even just with her hair, because we know that she can use her tears to heal someone and bring them back from the dead. What else of her body could she do? Could she do similar things like Elsa by using her hands to create warmth? Could she do something with her voice? Oh, who knows? But I would love to see it. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my 4 different ideas of what other powers Rapunzel could have had, or do you have your own ideas? Or just in general, do you think what I'm saying is absolute gibberish? Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. So I know what you guys must have been thinking throughout this whole video. Where did Fran get this amazing merch from? Well, you can get merch like this too, because I have now set up my own merchandise store on redbubble.com. You get such things as my logo, you can get the glasses, you can get Percy Jackson related merchandise, Avatar merchandise, and Disney related merchandise. All of that is on my Redbubble page, A Dose of Fran, which is linked in the description box down below. It's all pretty reasonably priced, and not only would you be helping support me, but you'd also be showing how cool you are by being a subscriber of A Healthy Dose of Fran. But in general, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you go to the description box down below, find the links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon, where on Patreon there are now 5 tiers of access available, including such things as early access, poll involvement, future say, and a personalised video message from yours truly. But if you can't support me on Patreon, don't worry about it, I can always do with another subscriber. So if you want to subscribe, go to the button down below and click that, or click the one popping up here on screen. If you want to check out my previous Disney videos, the playlist will be popping up here, and there's something else for you beautiful people will be popping up here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.